There's no doubt that Italy is one of the most successful countries in football. To date, Italy has produced countless renowned players, including Alessandro Del Piero, Andrea Pirlo, and Gianluigi Buffon. Most Italian players play for local clubs in Serie A. However, many Italian players also play in other leagues, including the Premier League. In fact, several have achieved success in England's top flight, from Gianfranco Zola to Fabrizio Ravanelli to Paolo Di Canio. However, of the three, only Paolo Di Canio stands out. He's known not only for his prowess in the Premier League, but also for his fiery temper both on and off the pitch. Di Canio was an extreme mix of brilliant talent, supreme sportsmanship, explosive temper, and political controversies that often overshadowed his career. Born in Rome in the Corticciolo district, a working-class area largely populated by AS Roma fans, Di Canio was a great Roma player, but he would never be as great as Francesco Totti. While Totti was a shining light at AS Roma, Di Canio was one of Lazio's greatest legends. Unfortunately for Di Canio, Totti was Rome's true emperor, while he was merely a general, one of Rome's few great sons, forced to live in the shadow of the Roman prince. Nevertheless, his footballing achievements cannot be underestimated. The name Paolo Di Canio is truly an anomaly. Growing up in an area with a large Roma supporter base should have made Di Canio a fan of the club, but somehow he was more interested in supporting Lazio, which is Roma's eternal rival, where he joined the club in 1985 when Lazio was still in Serie B. Then, when Lazio achieved promotion to Serie A in 1988, after almost being relegated to Serie A C1 the previous year, Di Canio finally made his debut for the first team in October 1988 and played 30 matches during the 1988 to 1989 season. With Lazio, he developed into a formidable young man up front. Di Canio even scored the winning goal in his first Roma derby of the season, a goal that lifted Lazio out of the relegation zone. This also earned the Roma youth hero status among Lazio fans. As his career progressed, an offer came from Juventus, who wanted to bring him to Turin. He immediately moved to Juventus in 1990. Unfortunately, his choice to join Juve proved to be a mistake. Although his talent was clearly visible, he never fully settled in Turin. Di Canio struggled for playing time during his time with the Old Lady due to the presence of other creative strikers and midfielders in the team, such as Roberto Baggio, Salvatore Schillaci, Pierluigi Casiraghi, Fabrizio Ravanelli, Gianluca Vialli, and Andreas Moller. Furthermore, his disagreement with then Juve manager Giovanni Trapattoni led to Di Canio spending the 1993-94 season on loan at Napoli. However, before leaving, Di Canio did get a taste of the UEFA Cup title, which Juventus won in 1993. Hoping for a different career while at Juventus and Napoli, Di Canio chose to move to another big club, AC Milan, after Juventus released him at the end of the 94 season. Despite winning the Serie A title in 96, he once again struggled for playing time due to stiff competition from his teammates, which led to another argument, this time with Fabio Capello, which led to his dismissal from the club again. Apart from Lazio, no Italian club seemed to suit him. After falling out of favor at AC Milan, Di Canio finally decided to leave his homeland. In July 1996, he joined Scottish giants Glasgow Celtic. His choice proved to be the right one, as in his first season at Celtic, Di Canio scored 15 goals in 37 appearances. Not only that, but he also won the SPFA Player of the Year award. But it wouldn't be Di Canio if he didn't cause trouble wherever he went. This also happened during his tenure at Celtic, which was also marked by several controversies. Despite his immense talent, Di Canio found controlling his emotions difficult. With Celtic, he was once sent off during a 2-2 draw against Hearts in November 1996. Additionally, Di Canio was also involved in a controversial league match against Rangers in March 1997, where he was aggressive towards Ian Ferguson and gestured towards the Rangers bench as he was being carried off the pitch by his teammates. However, the most fatal incident occurred when he clashed with club president Fergus McCann. This occurred after Di Canio demanded a significant pay rise at the end of the season, which the president refused. This rejection angered Di Canio, who refused to join the squad when they flew to the Netherlands for pre-season training in July 1997. As a result, Celtic sold him to Premier League club Sheffield Wednesday in August 1997 for a fee of £4 million. As with Celtic, Di Canio quickly became a fan favorite, becoming the team's top scorer with 14 goals in his first season in England. But once again, Di Canio's temperament flared up like an explosive fire. This time, it was worse than before, nearly ending his football career prematurely. It happened when Sheffield faced Arsenal in September 1998. The initial trigger came just before halftime when Di Canio reacted angrily when Patrick Vieira pushed Wim Jonk. Martin Keown, who tried to restrain the angry Di Canio, became the target of the Italians' anger. They then engaged in a scuffle, which resulted in Di Canio being shown a red card by referee Paul Alcock. Unfortunately, Di Canio ended up pushing the referee to the ground. For his actions, Di Canio was fined £10,000 and suspended for 11 matches by the FA. After receiving the punishment, Di Canio expressed his regret. However, the problems didn't stop there. Several referees expressed their displeasure, believing Di Canio's punishment was too lenient. Despite this, Di Canio's punishments from 1996 to 1998 were the harshest ever handed down by the FA. Previously, in 1996, a Birmingham defender was banned for just 4 matches for a physical altercation with a referee. Then, in 1997, Emmanuel Petit was also given a lighter 3-match suspension for pushing a referee. Unfortunately for Di Canio's career, the incident also proved to be his final game for Sheffield, as his actions upset manager Danny Wilson. The strained relationship led to Di Canio's dismissal from the club, and it was even suggested that his career in England would no longer have a future. Despite being known as a problematic player, his talent made it easy for Di Canio to secure a place. This time, Harry Redknapp's West Ham agreed to take him in the winter transfer window of £1,999 for £1.7 million. Indeed, Di Canio's arrival at West Ham immediately had a positive impact on the club. During the second half of the season, he appeared in 13 matches and scored 5 goals. He led West Ham to a 5th-place finish and qualified for the UEFA Cup via the Intertoto Cup. In the following season, 1999 to 2000, Di Canio remained a mainstay at Upton Park. When West Ham beat Wimbledon 2-1 March 2000, he scored a volley that was later named Goal of the Season, even considered one of the best goals of the Premier League era. In another incident, when West Ham faced Bradford City in the league, Di Canio claimed a penalty 3 times, but the referee waved away all of them. After his 3rd attempt was denied, he immediately gestured for a substitute, but his manager Harry Redknapp refused to grant it. Redknapp forced him to defend, as his agile movement was key to winning the match. Eventually, the referee awarded a penalty to West Ham. Frank Lampard, who was preparing to take the penalty, placed the ball on the penalty spot. However, Di Canio came to his aid and snatched the penalty from Lampard, who was then a key player for West Ham. Had his penalty not been converted, Di Canio's career at West Ham might have turned out very differently. Fortunately, he did manage to score from the spot, and with muted celebrations, he picked up the ball to kick off as quickly as possible. He simply wanted to take responsibility, not for the glory, but to ensure his team had a chance. Di Canio's militant attitude led West Ham to a 5-4 victory, with Frank Lampard sealing the victory for the Hammers. With every bad side, there's always a good side, and Di Canio was no exception. On the 16th of December 2000, Di Canio, already labeled a badass, showed his angelic side when West Ham United visited Everton's home ground at Goodison Park in the Premier League. The score was 1-1 at the time, and West Ham had a chance to take the lead from a quick counterattack when Everton's goal was unmarked by goalkeeper Paul Gerrard, who had cleared the ball by charging out of his safety zone and was lying on the ground injured. Trevor Sinclair took the loose ball and sent a long pass from the right flank. Di Canio, already in the middle of the penalty area, had a great opportunity to score. However, he chose to catch the ball and point it at the fallen Gerrard, halting the game. Seeing this unusual incident, the home fans gave Di Canio a standing ovation for wasting a golden opportunity to put West Ham ahead. The match ultimately ended in a 1-1 draw, prompting West Ham manager Harry Redknapp to respond to Di Canio's sportsmanship with mixed emotions. It was the most fantastic display of sportsmanship I've ever seen, but I don't know whether to laugh or cry, he said. In addition, FIFA also reacted by officially praising Di Canio's actions, describing them as an act of exceptional sportsmanship, and awarded him the FIFA Fair Play Award the following year. Then, in the 2001-2002 season, Di Canio arrived at Manchester United with confidence. Despite playing at Old Trafford, Di Canio managed to humiliate the Red Devils on their home turf with his lone goal. His goal sealed West Ham's FA Cup victory over Manchester United. The victory is still remembered to this day, a memorable moment for Hammers fans. Paolo Di Canio's performance apparently captivated Sir Alex Ferguson. Ferguson tried to bring him to Manchester United midway through the 2001-2002 season, but his efforts were unsuccessful, and Di Canio remained in East London for another season and a half. Di Canio insisted he couldn't leave West Ham, who had given him a chance at the worst possible moment in his life. The 2002-2003 season was Di Canio's final spell with West Ham. Unfortunately, that season also saw West Ham suffer a poor run of form, resulting in them spending most of the season at the bottom of the table. For Di Canio himself, the season was marked by numerous clashes with new manager Glenn Roeder. His anger stemmed from the departure of Harry Redknapp in 2001, and he felt the new manager was unsuitable for the club. Despite a strained relationship with his manager, Di Canio still managed to impress against Chelsea in September 2002. He scored 2 goals in a 3-2 victory. However, this proved to be insufficient to improve matters. The dispute escalated in early 2003 when Di Canio went on a rampage after being substituted in a 1-0 win over Fulham. He was seen venting his anger at Roeder, even publicly questioning the decision. As a result, Di Canio was dropped from the squad and missed all matches for the next 2 months. Simultaneously, West Ham's relegation battle deepened. The situation worsened when Roeder collapsed and was diagnosed with a mild stroke after the match. Club legend Trevor Brooking was appointed as an interim manager, but it was too late. However, in the final 2 games of the season, Di Canio was given a chance to return to the first team. Trevor made the right decision. Upon his return to the first team, Di Canio scored the winner against Chelsea in the penultimate game of the season. The result gave his team a chance to stay in the league, and it proved to be his final act of heroism at Upton Park as tears streamed down the Italian's face. Unfortunately, West Ham were ultimately relegated on the final day of the season, after only drawing 2-2 at home to Birmingham City, where Di Canio scored an 89th-minute equalizer. At the end of that season, Di Canio decided to leave for Charlton Athletic. In his one season at the Valley, Di Canio helped Charlton finish 7th in the Premier League, the club's highest finish since 1953. Then, in August 2004, Di Canio decided to return to his hometown club, Lazio, and accepted a significant pay cut, as the club was experiencing financial difficulties at the time. Lazio fans were delighted to have a Roma-raised Lazio supporter back on their team, something they had been missing since Alessandro Nesta's departure in 2002. Then he scored in the Rome Derby, as he had in 1989, leading the team to a 3-1 victory over their arch-rivals on 6 January 2005. However, as seems inevitable with Di Canio, controversy soon followed him. This time, he took it to the extreme. In celebration of the victory over Roma, Di Canio gave a fascist salute towards the Curva Nord, where Lazio's hardcore supporters gathered. This was the first time anyone had seen Di Canio express such political views. His controversial nature again brought Di Canio into conflict with club president Claudio Lotito. As a result, Di Canio's contract was not renewed in the summer of 2006. He then signed with Serie C club Cisco Roma on a free transfer. This club would be the last club the Bengal player played for. On the 10th of March 2008, Di Canio announced his retirement from football, ending a 2-3-year playing career. Despite a trophyless career and frequent controversy, with political choices deemed by the Italian public as deviant, Di Canio was one of the best Italian strikers of his time. Unfortunately, he was never called up to the Italian national team.